Hello guys, this is Coded Steel and welcome to your third tutorial in the C programming language. If you guys remember last time I kind of showed you some of the codes that I created and how I can show you guys how to start doing stuff like that. If you just follow my tutorials, I will get to programs that are that advanced. Anyways, if you guys remember, this is the code that we discussed last time, and now I need to cover why this is called a register. First of all, in a standard calculator, the way you do you type in obviously the first number, add second number, and then you typically hit like an enter or an equal sign or something on the calculator. So that is actually like a calculator because it's systematic in the way that you do things. You do 6 plus 7, just the same way you would draw it on a chalkboard or on a piece of paper. You do 6 plus 7 equals 13. Well, the way that C actually did this was it went sort of like this. It actually went 7, 5, and then it put the plus, and then did an equals, basically. And this is basically what it did, is it stored the data of the two numbers before it performs the math operation. So a register actually takes and stores the data and then performs the operation with the numbers. But a calculator, the way we typically do a calculator is we do number, operation, number, enter, or equal sign. So that's the difference actually between a register and a calculator, and why this actually is a register. Anyways, we're going to add some more functionality to our register in such that we're going to make it to where we can get user input. So basically, I'm going to put these back to the standard stuff, and I'm going to create something, or I'm going to put something on here that will allow us to get user feedback. And it's actually located in this library, the C standard library, just like I had discussed with you guys in the first tutorial. The C standard library has a majority of useful functions for the C programming language. Another one of them is called Scanf. And basically what this function is going to do is it's going to scan for user input. So it's going to continuously loop and try to look for user input. So I'm going to basically go ahead, I'm going to copy this print statement because I'm lazy, and I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to go so we're going to enter the first number just like it says. If we put our other quote there, we're going to enter the first number, so we're going to go ahead and do %d, and then we actually have to do something that lets it know we're trying to store it in the address of num1, the address location of num1. So basically how you do that is you type something called the ampersand, and that is basically saying we want to store it in the memory location of num1. We're telling it, hey, C, we want to take a decimal number and store it in this data location called num1. If we just put num1, it doesn't know where the address location is where num1 is. It just thinks num1 is an integer, just like it is up here. But if you put the address of the variable that C declared this and assigned an address location to it randomly, and then we told it, hey, put this number in this address location. So that's basically what it did. So anyway, that's the first number inputted into the system. So we're going to do a second number, and we're actually going to store that one in num2. We're going to call it second num. So now we're going to store the second number in the num2 variable in the same place. We're storing it in the address of num2. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this code now. And just like it says, it wants us to enter num1. So we're going to enter 56, just because I feel like it. And then we're going to enter 92 or something. Oh. Okay, hold on a sec, guys. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had a problem with my getCharacter function. For some reason it wasn't working correctly. So what I needed to actually do is I had to include a new type of library called the con.io library, and it basically let me use a different form of get character called getch, which is basically the same function, but it's located in this library as under a different name. And this is the similar thing. It pauses the screen. For some reason, the get character wasn't pausing the screen correctly. So anyways, I got that bug fixed. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to add a space here for making it a little cleaner. And now we should be able to go ahead and do this a lot better. So I'm going to enter 79 and 87. And as you can see, guys, that gives me a sum of 166. So that's basically how you can add user functionality to the code. And you guys can take and you can do a majority of different things. You could make this a minus sign instead, and then you can rerun it. And basically, instead of doing a adding operation, it will do 77. So I'm going to do 78 minus 77, and obviously that gives me 1. And I forgot to change the sum to a difference, so ignore it. Bleh, another mistake that I've made. But anyways, that is how you get user input from somebody and you allow it to be implemented into your program. And this, like I said, guys, this is actually called a register, not a calculator. So it stores the data, then performs the operation. Later, I will show you actually how to create something that could actually function as a real calculator, and where you can actually do number minus another number or number plus another number and actually get it to show up similar to how it would show up on your calculators. So later I'll show you how to build an actual calculator instead of a register. But until then, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it taught you something, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.